Welcome to Who You Know with Michael Sublett of Odd Mo's Pizza and Arthur Meeker of Extreme Graphics. We're shining the spotlight on businesses right here in the Pacific Northwest, celebrating their growth, their networking wins, and the impact they make in their communities. From small town gems to big community players, this is where connection meets inspiration.
Today we have a really special guest, Jackie Roché from the Salem Chamber of Commerce, and you also are a business owner. And what kind of business do you have, Jackie?
I own Jackie's Natural Cleaning, so only residential house cleaning.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
Makes me feel old to say it. So I started in 2010, so 16 years.
Oh, wow. Good. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's not an easy job. So then I moved from Wyoming to Salem in 2016. So I've been established in Salem for 10 years.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. So,
don't look at me.
I thought
I'm not driving his bus.
You're wanting to say something there.
No, I've got things to say.
Go ahead.
No, it caught me off guard.
Oh, okay.
She said you came from Wyoming. I did not know that you came from Wyoming.
Well, I actually was born and raised in Tigard.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So
How'd you wind up in Wyoming from Tigard, though?
So I got married pretty young to a military guy that I went to high school with. So he was stationed in Eastern Washington, so we ended up there, got transferred to Wyoming, and then moved. After the divorce, we ended up, he went off to Japan. And so I didn't want to leave Wyoming until, he got moved, by the military. And so once he left, I hung out a little bit longer just to get savings for moving to Oregon because it's a very different cost from that state to this state.
Yes.
So, had some good savings, and then I moved to Salem because my sister lives here, and she has 5 kids. Her 2 youngest and my 2 are almost exactly the same age, and I wanted them to grow up around their cousins.
Oh, cool.
And then my parents moved down from Tigard to hang out with all of their kids.
So with your cleaning business, and it's difficult to have a small business, very difficult. And so how do you manage your small business, your cleaning business, and working a full-time job?
Well, the beauty is that I want to say about 4 years ago, after a lot of struggle, I'm going to rewind a little bit. When I moved here in 2016, the way I was running my business in Wyoming was just sole proprietor, never paid taxes, got money back because Wyoming's awesome. And then I moved here and I had no clue how to actually run a business. Mm-hmm. And I ended up getting married in 2017, but for that time from 16 to 17 when I was running it, I didn't know what an S Corp was or an LLC or anything. But I met with a CPA because I was like, someone told me I need to meet with you. And so he asked me all these questions about my goals and my growth and where I wanted to be. And he said, okay, we should set you up as an S Corp. For anyone listening, you'll find this entertaining if you know. And I'm like, okay. Had no clue what that meant. I hired somebody without any insurance, workman's comp, nothing. Was taking people's money, cash, card, whatever, direct putting it into my personal account, transferring the money to my employee. And I thought, oh, that's fine. Not realizing, none of that was legal. So technically I was embezzling from myself. So when I got married, my husband comes from a background of management, of middle management, store managers, hiring, firing, all that stuff. And he looks at it and he goes, what are you doing? We're going to get in trouble. You're embezzling from yourself. And I'm like, I don't know. So he sent me off for the weekend with my best friend who's a bookkeeper. And he said, I don't want to see you until it resembles a legal business. So that was the most stressful thing when someone's saying, hey, you spent $6 on...
Fast forward 3 months on vacation. I'd have taken a really long one. Oh, we had so much to figure out,
right.
The coast was so difficult to think out there.
It was really hard.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
But no, she was asking these questions, what did you spend $6 on? I'm like, I don't know, interrogation. I'm like, yeah. But she just needed to know how to classify things. But that is not my thing. I want nothing to do with anything in the background, S Corps or anything. And so we have a legal business. It took a long time to understand all these things because I don't know. I just know how to do the job and clean and make my client happy and my employees happy. Like, I don't know. Which I think is honestly most business owners, especially when they start out.
Yeah.
They start out because they're passionate about something, passionate about making a living. It's not like I'm passionate about cleaning toilets.
Oh, nice.
I'm passionate about the response I get from clients and the ease that we bring in their life and the peace. So
most businesses start that way. And they have a good idea, a good product, a good service. They're good at it, but they're not good at the business side of things or marketing. And sometimes they are good at a little bit dabbling in things, but that's usually where at the beginning where people get in trouble is because they just jump in.
So since 2017, I've had like a legal business.
Oh, nice.
That's good. You're on a good run.
Yeah.
You know, and 9 years of good business right now.
Yes.
That's good. You passed all the markers.
Yay. How many employees do you have?
We generally hover around like 5 to 7 is our sweet spot. We don't want to get bigger. At one point, we jumped up to 12, and it was utterly chaotic. I mean, most of the people we get are women. So imagine 12 women all working together. It can be a little drama. Don't cut that.
We're just going to smooth on past that. Really? That just sounds unusual. Let's go back down. Yeah, so it's nice to have like what you kind of found your strength. Like this is the best number we have to work with what we get.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we had a lot of issues. So we ended up peeling way back and only had 3. And then we rebuilt. It took a long time to figure out what is the culture we want and how do we identify that in the people we interview. How far do we allow and let someone take the rope before like pulling them back and deciding, do we fire them or are they trainable? And it took us a long time to figure out the culture we like, but we finally got there, and that 5 to 7 people is that sweet spot.
Yep.
And we were more profitable with less people. There's a lot more overhead that comes the more you grow.
Yeah. So when how long you been with the chamber now?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. So what do you do at the chamber?
I am their membership manager. I help plug businesses into the chamber. The chamber does a lot of stuff. So we have a lot of networking events. We do a lot of business advocacy, which is not politics, but it's more looking at what is coming down from the state, county, city level and figuring out what is healthy and helpful for businesses and advocate for that. Is like the most basic way I can say it.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people don't realize is that we are a 501c6, which is a nonprofit with a membership designation. And the money that we get is only from members. We don't take any government money. And we are really, truly able to support businesses. And the advocacy piece is honestly the front line in what we do. And ultimately, that's what the dollars go to, is to be able to fund and have us be able to advocate for businesses in the Salem area. But what we do is also on a state level where we will submit testimony to legislation and all the things, right?
How many members does the chamber have?
I believe right now it's over 1,000, 1,050-ish.
And you're part of that growth?
I am.
That's
yes.
good. I see you at a lot of events and everything I go to that Salem Chamber related, you seem to be there. So
yes,
you take your job very seriously. I love it.
I just ran numbers for our annual report because the fiscal year just ended. Last year we had 167 events. 55 of those were ribbon cuttings, which is a lot. And I'm going to go pull the old numbers just to see what that is in comparison, especially for the ribbon cuttings. We normally average 125 events a year. So probably that extra was those ribbon cuttings.
With how you started your business and how you had to learn all of that, and now you're advocating for businesses and the structure and all the other fun stuff that goes along with it. So you've probably learned quite a bit here in the last year and a half.
I've loved it.
Well,
because you came in and sat and we just talked about life and like, what's your history? Why do you do this? What other ideas do you have coming down the pipeline? Because you're already doing something. One of my favorite experiences is having a new member come in and meet and talk with me, and they're brand new in their business, or maybe just within that first year. And they came out of corporate or they came out of working for somebody else and they're like, I'm going to be my own boss. And then they're like, holy moly, it's hard. Like they have no idea. Like
Yeah.
if you haven't done it, you can't even begin to understand the amount of stress it is. And then those people who employ people, like you guys all get this. It's like their like livelihood is literally in my hands. If my business is not successful, they won't succeed. And then the whole, how do I take care of my employees and make sure they stay and their needs are met? And so it's interesting having an actual business experience and running my own business. It's a different level of the way I'm able to connect with people who come looking for membership, because I'm not just trying to sell you, oh, buy this. It's like, let's figure out what your needs are, where you're at in your business. Like we have 5 different levels you can choose from for membership, but some people don't need the $6,000 level. They just need the $500 level or whatever in between. And so it's fun to talk with them. And then as I'm coming into my second year of dealing with like the renewals and people, like one of the things is like, let's meet each year, just chat and figure out, we need to chat about like, what's your business look like? Do you want to be in the rooms where some of the C-suites and the leaders in our community are, to glean wisdom and knowledge and education? There's so many things we offer that people don't know about. And I like just to have that kind of like your insurance, right? Life changes.
Yep.
Does your insurance need to?
Yeah. That's something I really like about you, that the way that you can relate to other business owners, especially new business owners, because that is a very difficult, owning a business is definitely a very tough thing to do. And having the experience that you have and sitting across the table and not just selling them a membership to the chamber and taking their money, I love that.
When we help business owners be successful, and there's nothing wrong with being an employee, like it's some people are like, no thank you. Like our manager, she's like, she loves being in leadership positions, and she's told us over and over, I don't want the responsibility of like the ownership part. And like we've had interesting conversations, but businesses, when like small businesses, when they're successful, that's what makes up our city. And when businesses are able to do well, when they're able to be profitable, like they are so generous, our businesses, in bonuses, pay raises, giving to nonprofits. Like a business owner generally wants to be successful so that they can give back. Like most people, it's so fun talking with them and their dreams that they have.
Yeah.
If you're taxed to death, you can't do it.
I am curious, how well do you navigate? Because, like, when you were first in business, and it's overwhelming, and so you have this passion, and you see the light, and you're like, I can do this, I can do that. How, I think what's difficult too, though, is when you have to tell them all the hard things that they have to do, and you see that flame slowly get distinguished, and how you can say, no, we're okay. If we just do this, do this, and do this, do you help them map that out at all?
A lot of what we do is connecting you with people. And so there's people like Mike White, who owns Mike's Restaurant. He does a lot of investments too. He's one of the guys where he's like, you should have him on if you haven't yet. He'll be like, if someone needs some mentoring or insight on business, just connect them with me. And he is so giving of his time. And I'll connect people when they're struggling with certain things, especially restauratpreneurs.
Yeah.
He's really great with that.
That's
and
good.
he has a lot of experience and wisdom and guidance. And so we're not everything to everyone. And so the Chemeketa Small Business Development Center, we partner a lot with, partner might be the wrong word. We send people there because that is what they do.
Right.
Buying, selling businesses, developing business plans, grants, like all those things, get a hold of them. They have all of the resources. And so for us, it's really trying to figure out what is our lane and how to connect with other people who are the experts in their field. Kind of like our business, like we don't do commercial, we only do residential. There's certain areas within residential that we are really passionate about and that we focus on. Like we won't clean hoarder homes, we don't do organizing, we don't do outside windows. Like there's a lot of things where other people are experts in those, and we'll let them take those. And we just really focus on our specific area.
Yeah, building a community and connections to do the things that you don't want to do, and vice versa. They'll send things to you.
But I will say, within Chamber, there's a variety of our employees or members who are really passionate about things. So like one of my favorite things is when house cleaning companies sign up for membership. And recently one gal signed up, and I talked with her on the phone, but I didn't actually like say anything about me having a company. And then I met her in person and talked, I said, so I actually own a cleaning company too, because people get weird about competition. And I was like, but no, like we are in a sweet spot. We're short one person and maybe like 5 to 10 clients, maybe like where we want to be, right? Like in real time right now with our business. But like 99% of the time, we just refer people who reach out to us for quotes because we just don't have room because we don't want to grow anymore. We just want to maintain and stay steady. And
Oh, I love helping businesses regardless. I mean, I just had an Italian kitchen that wanted to do a pizza for the new mall. It's an Italian guy. Well, he used my oven to test a bunch of stuff out to see how he could do what he needed to do. And a lot of people really protect that. But I think there's so many people out there, so many customers out there. And I think once you find the people that want to work with you, you can take care of them. It's like, that's just the way it works. And so, are we direct competition with a lot of these other places that serve a similar product? At some level we are, but we're also in competition with, if you're having Chinese for dinner, you're not having pizza for dinner. Right. So it's like, I think there's different levels of competition. So when you sit down with cleaning service, it'd be neat to find out what they do. And there may be a direct competition specifically, but there's so many people out there, so many clients out there. Then you really multiply your strength when you get to know the community that and so I like that. But that would be kind of, you're like, hey,
Well, and I love it because we only service Salem Kaiser. We don't go elsewhere. We don't do smoker homes. We don't, there's so many things that we know where we want to be. So when I get requests for outside the city, or maybe they want chemicals, we don't use chemicals, then I'm like, let me give you some referrals. And I know who does what. And, just recently I had somebody who had some health concerns but limited budget. So I reached out to a couple of my friends. Hey, could you do any charity cleans or steeply discounted, right? So it's easy for me to reach out because to ask who's able to do what. One of my very first mistake is the wrong word, but learning experiences is one thing I valued is that when I give you a price, that's the price, period. So I went and I quoted, and in Wyoming, it was like $30 an hour was like 25 to 30 an hour was pretty average for cleaning companies to charge. And the minimum wage is $7.25 over there. And so I quoted somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll take 6 hours to do this house. Oh no, I couldn't even tell you how many hours it took. I think I averaged like $3 an hour. It was horrible. Had no clue, but I charged them that anyways. I let them know, hey, it took longer than I thought, but I'm still honoring the price and they'll always tip you. But for me, I don't want to get into that reputation of, oh, well, they said it was going to be $200 and they end up charging me $5.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you said something I think it speaks a lot about your character as well, which is you did the job that you do no matter what the time frame and cost and all that stuff, because you have a level of what you're trying to do as a business. It's like that integrity that you kept. You're like, I'm sure that there are some businesses out there go, well, I said 6 hours, so we're just going to kind of, soften up the deep clean a little bit and maybe focus on certain areas and stuff to try to help, reduce the amount of hours or whatever.
And one thing, like when in every industry you have complaints, right?
What?
The end goal is to leave everybody whole and intact and having good thoughts about you. So we're all fallible. We're all going to make mistakes. So when those happen, how you handle it determines whether or not they talk bad about you. Ultimately, right? Yeah. We've had some horrible mistakes where,
I like that though. I think you can transition people into being lifelong customers for that. Because I have found that there's only two ways to get people to talk about you. You either are so exceptional that they just are floored, or you screw up and you fix it correctly, because nobody does that anymore. Yeah. Everybody just kind of goes, well, we'll give you a discount here, or we'll just, they kind of shuffle it off.
So
But if you take care of them correctly, it's just, people are like, I can't believe it, they called me back, they did this. And so I think that's tough to get that good review in a way. People take that time, because if you ask somebody for a bad thing, they'll tell you every detail about it. But you say, well, when's the last time you had exceptional service? And you're like, oh, I don't know, and they can't give you that so much. But a bad thing, people seem to.
So it's interesting. This just came up in my mind. Salem Eats, the Facebook page that a lot of people are familiar with. I wasn't around when they started, but came out of COVID. And I don't remember the history. So, if I'm wrong, sorry. Essentially, they wanted to figure out a way to elevate the restaurant industry during COVID, etc. But they wanted to do it in a positive manner. And Chamber's definitely like, let's remain positive regardless, right?
Mhm.
Rise above. So that's one of the things is find the good and praise it. No negative comments, etc. So it's yesterday we got someone that reached out and said, hey, my comment was removed and I don't understand why. I was just giving an honest feedback, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there are plenty of other places. Salem Eats 2.0, Salem, I mean, everything. Everyone can find some way to complain about something. And this is really honestly reserved for just finding the good and praising it. Like the end.
Yeah.
And it's so contrary to what's normal for human nature and then what's out there. And it's like, yes, I know that I could say bad things about that place too, but why?
That's interesting that we on this subject because social media is a tough one. And I'm, in the past I own a couple of restaurants and I am so glad we didn't have social media at the time because I just watch restaurants get destroyed on social media and people just don't understand. You can have a combination of everything that happen in one night. Server's in a bad mood and it reflects on the customer or their service. The cook's off for a night, whatever. I mean, super big. I mean, there's all kinds of things, but man, people just don't understand. They don't have any etiquette when it comes to social media. They can do whatever they want. And that's really tough on business. I watch it all the time. And like for me, my own personal thing is I never say anything negative. It's just not in my nature. And if you have to complain about something, just go to the owner, man, and let them know. And and I teach that to business. I see business owners doing that online. They're posting negative comments about other businesses. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? That is bad business etiquette.
I like to have fun with it. We had one that was negative, and I'm like, about stuff we were posting, and I'm like, oh, yeah, but what about this? You like this? Yeah, I just really had a good time with it, and it kept getting funnier in my head all the way down, and then pretty much it was like, I just felt like it turned into something really good and fun and positive. But, man, the comments out there, people's tolerance levels, and people can be so vile and vicious.
When there's people that you're like, I have a 5-star Yelp review or whatever, and then someone posts something horrible, and people are like trying to get it off their whatever platform you're using. I'm like, the way that you reply to it as the business says a lot. And then as a consumer, whenever I'm on Yelp or whatever, I'll actually look at the reviews and I'll see the range of them, and then I look at the bad ones and I'll click on the person and you see everything they've reviewed.
Yes.
And I'm like, if they're giving 1 stars and they never do positive, I'm ignoring them.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of my MO with reviews.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it starts with the first comment. But if you get a really positive one, it just seems to go that way. And so you're hoping that if a negative one comes up, somebody defends you in a way. Oh, come on now, seriously?
I love it when that kind of thing happens and someone complains about something on a post and then you just see this of all these positive things. People comment to you like, I don't know what your problem was. This is great. It's fun to see that happen.
We have a guest coming on in a couple weeks, from Albany Police Department, and Laura Haskins, and she's the one that's responsible for writing the social media posts, and the videos, right? Videos, yeah. She's behind doing the videos, and she comes up with the funniest things because imagine being in that industry, they get blasted all the time about everything, and then they make the funniest. She puts the funniest posts together. And so it's going to be really fun to have her on. But bringing that humor when there's so much negativity is a big task.
My number one favorite company to follow on social media is Saffron Supply.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Go find them. Like, all of their comments are so funny. And then I'll randomly email Joe, the general manager, and be like, does he have an auto reply on? Nope. Because his auto replies are really funny. And they're entertaining.
I love that. So you're so busy with your business and you're so busy with the chamber. What does Jackie like to do when she's not busy?
Oh, Oh, my husband would tell you she just always works. Well, so
She's like-
rewind. So right before I got the job, I was we had another company from Portland, Mystery Shop Us, our cleaning company. And so they had lived in Salem, but they moved to Salem, but their business was in Portland. So
Okay.
let's start a division in Salem. And they had one of their managers open up their house to mystery shop every company they possibly could in Salem. And she said, you were one of two people of all the companies, and they had like 46 companies that they mystery shopped. She's like, there's two that I wanted to reach out to and meet. And then it turned out that she doesn't like the Salem culture because it's all like you have to be lovey-dovey in relationship, right? Portland's like, book with me online, I never want to see you, and I'll pay you. Like, very, very different cultures. And you couldn't be as profitable as Portland. So they ended up operating here for a year, and then she was like, nope. And apparently she said, you were the highest price. And I'm like, seriously? I was like, the house was so dirty. And I was even under where I thought I should have quoted. And she's like, I would agree with you. Like, it was not a clean house. Anywho, so she contacted me and said, I mystery shopped you. I would like to, and because they ended up closing down their Salem area, she wanted her house cleaned, but it's too expensive to pay for mileage for employees from Portland to come down to Salem to clean. So she asked me to come clean. And I showed up and she was like, what are you doing here? I'm here to clean your house. No, but what are you doing here? You hired me to clean your house. And she's like, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be working. Where's your employees? And I literally broke down. There's this place within the cleaning like company revenue where it's like you're doing everything because you're not making enough to pay someone to do the admin and the quoting and all the things, and it's just like you're everything to everybody while still cleaning. It's that
wearing all the hats.
Yeah. And she's like, can I take you under my wing? I'm like, sure. And then my husband's like, they want to steal our company. They didn't. But it wasn't normal to have someone be like, can I mentor you for free? So she's the one that actually taught me how to implement systems, actually have a CRM that's outside of my head. It led us down the road to figure out how to get uniform in our cleaning products and training and everything. So that was probably in 2021, maybe 2020, right in there. And we put systems in. It was hard to have a mindset shift around like, I'm not going to do what I've always done, but actually have a training manual, right? There's all the things. Yep. And so because of that, we were able to hire an office manager, and we were able to have our employees do the cleaning. We were able to have a manager train employees, right? Because there's a system for that. And it's not just in my head. And so with all of that, it gave my husband and I a lot of time freedom. And so we took I'd say about 2 years where we weren't working in the field except one client that we cleaned for every other Friday for years because we were the only ones that could be in her house. And so we literally made our entire extracurricular around her house. But otherwise, we had a lot of time freedom. I would jump in if I needed to cover for someone sick here and there, but I didn't have to work. So then I ended up discovering Chamber, got involved in it just as a business, started volunteering, became a volunteer ambassador, and I was covering the front desk. And my boss, Jackie, was like, hey, you want a job? And I was like, no. And then I looked it up and I was like, ooh, insurance. I haven't had insurance for like 10 plus years. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
So, and the pay wasn't horrible. So I ended up applying for a job for a different position actually at the chamber, not knowing that the previous membership manager was just turning in her notice. And so no one knew this. The job wasn't even posted. And so during my interview, they said, well, we have a different job available in the company. I think you'd be suited for that. Can we discuss that? So that's how I got the job, was just volunteering. So I ended up becoming like a consultant to my own cleaning company.
I love that.
But otherwise, we have a manager that runs the day-to-day, estimating now, training, all the things. And then my husband is the backup. He does all the behind the scenes stuff and just helping run it. So to answer your question, I don't run the cleaning company. It's really hard for me to be like, I'll let them learn. It took me 16 years to get to this point. Like, they can figure it out. Do a lot of chamber events and such. But my husband's a huge fisherman.
Oh, cool.
And so salmon, halibut, tomorrow it's the holiday weekend and the ocean's finally behaving. So, and I have work off. So we're heading out to go salmon, rockfish, like bottom fish, and halibut tomorrow.
Yeah, yay.
So I'm a fair weather fisher person. So if it's nice, I'll go.
I don't like the ocean myself, so I get seasick.
I love it. I've gone tuna fishing 4 times, but the water's been too cold for the tuna to get in far enough.
Then we won't go that far out.
Yeah, it's a long way. It's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Just getting, you know, so, but they finally called No Joy and just said, no, so whatever it is, I'm like this, tuna, and I don't get, I love tuna, and so we always end up buying it at Chelsea Rose.
You should get to know Larry Jackson if you don't know, because he goes out all the time from Jackson's Auto Body. And then you can be like, yo, gotta go.
I like to see, that's the chamber right there.
Connecting. So outside of fishing with my husband, I love singing. I've taken 2 years of guitar lessons, so trying to put all of that together and find places to actually play once I practice enough to be good enough.
Oh, wow. So your next career as a singer?
Sure.
Make an album? Yeah?
Maybe. I just enjoy it.
Oh, good. That's good.
Well, the thing is, you know, she sings this national anthem. She did me a favor and did that for the Capitals when we had our odd mode night.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, do great, by the way. You already sung with the Berries. Yeah, so.
Very cool.
And then I did a duet with another employee at our Business of the Year Awards, which the chamber staff never sings the national anthem. We always want to highlight one of our members. And so if you're a chamber member and you sing, send me an audition. And so we're always trying to find different members who sing so we can shout them out in front of the different large groups that we do. And they allowed the staff to sing at that Business of the Year, so it was fun.
Is there a message that you want to tell anybody out there, like business owners, new business owners, old business owners? What would you, like, if you had things to do over again, is there anything that you would do over again, like in your business, or a message that you would tell them?
I think it would probably be, don't try to be everything to everyone. It's impossible. Through some various training I took in my company, they said get rid of the perfection word. It's impossible to attain if you try to communicate to your clients, and I hear this regularly from people, oh yeah, and we strive for perfection. It's like, that's a false promise. Like, you're never going to be perfect. So instead of saying we strive for perfection, say we strive for excellence, because excellence is attainable. And you set yourself up for, just poor execution on expectations for the client.
Yeah.
Another would be surround yourself with people who have the strengths that you don't have. Because when you're able to focus on your genius, you will 10x things versus trying to struggle through something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's appropriateness. Like, I have a passion of learning XYZ. Sure. But if you hate it and it drains you, allow somebody else who enjoys doing that come in and do it, and it'll change everything.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great message out there, because that's very, very true. Know your superpower and your genius. And
one book that I would highly recommend is the 6 Types of Working Genius.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
And I like to lead book clubs. I try for quarterly, and it's like 4 weeks because I don't like commitment except my marriage and I guess raising children. So I limit it to 4 sessions. And so that was the very, very first book I did. And it actually was the catalyst for one of the members that was in the book club with me to realize, oh, I hate that thing. And that's not one of my geniuses. And that is why. Even though I'm good at it, it drains me. So she was able to hone in on what her genius was, and it propelled her to start a whole new business, and it's going well. And I was like, that's so exciting. Yeah. It's fun to have just that little little part of her story.
So rapid fire questions. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. For tea or coffee?
Coffee.
A mountain hike or a walk on the beach?
Mountain hike.
Motorcycle or car?
Motorcycle.
Jeez, you'd be great at Family Feud. You're just firing away. Go ahead.
It's really hard for me not to expound though.
She's doing really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Favorite number?
4.
Favorite color?
Red.
If you were a superhero, who would you be?
I don't know.
Okay, skip next one.
Well, no, but
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't watch superhero movies. Like my family knows, like I'll watch.
Do this superpower
But I
then.
might fall asleep.
Yeah, what would be your superpower?
My superpower. Walking through walls.
Walking through
Or
walls.
teleporting. Let's go with teleporting.
Teleporting, I love that. Favorite food?
Oh gosh. Well, if I choose one, then that means I'm putting a food over other foods, and I like all food.
So you're just a foodie. That's me
foodie.
too.
No lavender. I found out I'm allergic to it.
Oh,
There we go. Let's go with what I don't like.
one.
And unagi sushi, sea urchin.
So that was my next question. What's your least favorite food?
Unagi. I had it once.
Mm-hmm.
Never again. No, is that? I don't know. Someone who knows Japanese will say I'm saying it wrong. Whatever. Sea urchin.
Escargot was our number one worst. People
I
that
love
know
it.
I don't.
I've heard it's phenomenal.
It
I
is.
think.
It is.
If it's done right. I've done that.
That's
I've
like
heard
the
that
third
too.
person to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I have not had it.
I would say that, I think it comes down to who prepares the food too, because sometimes that's really what it is, not necessarily the food sometimes.
Does pineapple belong in pizza?
Yes, but it has to go
God,
with.
why do you do
But
this
it
to
has
me?
to go with pepperoni,
Pepperoni,
not
pineapple.
Canadian
Canadian
bacon.
bacon.
Right.
Yes, pepperoni.
That is a great balance. I'll give you
Sweet,
that. but-
spicy, savory.
Salty,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Oh, I have a good one.
Okay.
Okay, so when is the last time you had your breath taken away? Like, you know how like in excitement where you're like, whether it be something,
Well, like going down
Give
the
me an
slide
idea.
at Urban Air at their grand opening,
That
where I was
would
like,
be-
"Whoa, that was fast!"
yeah, something like that. That would be it. Where it's just like, it's just, yeah, it's like the element of like beyond your control kind of thing, where you just like, Star
Okay.
Spangled Banner, when they do a flyover, takes my breath away
Okay,
every
so
time.
it might sound so dumb, but when I did sing the national anthem and I did the duet at the Business of the Year Awards, it's been a long time since I've sang with somebody. And normally it's just solo things, and I've been doing lessons and such. But when I was practicing the duet with my coworker, it was like we were practicing and we were like when we were done, we were like, whoa, that was good. Like, it was just like, that's probably the last, like, not physical
Yeah.
exhilaration, but it was, oh, that was
That moment though,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was talking about. My sister was big on the whole like it's not time, it's moments kind of thing.
As I wouldn't say that I'm great, but I inspire to be a public speaker or a good public speaker. And I know I look back at years ago, the first couple times that I got in front of a group of people and started talking. So explain what was going through your mind the first time you stepped out in front of a really large crowd and you had to sing.
Oh,
What was
funny
going through
that
your
you, that you
mind?
choose that. So
Yeah.
I'm amazed. I have some childhood trauma. I was probably 4th grade, and I was at church, and there were auditions for a solo of a song, and so I got the solo of one of the verses, and we were, going on stage and performing. Well, I really liked the first verse, but I didn't get the first verse solo. I got the second verse solo, but guess what? When I was practicing for the performance, I only practiced the first verse because I didn't like the second verse, but I know it, so it'll be okay. So what did I do when I got on stage? I started singing the first verse, and then I just stopped, and I just stood there the entire time I was supposed to be singing. So that's like the one time I remember failing miserably because of my own fault and not preparing. I don't get nervous. I love karaoke. If I can jump in with a band impromptu and be like, yo, I'm just gonna I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
So public speaking I absolutely love. I'll speak in front of women. I have a whole history of some different addiction stuff and trouble throughout my first marriage, and I love talking about what I've learned and being an open book, because a lot of women won't talk about the kind of stuff I went through, or it's just that's a man problem normally, but I don't mind talking about it because it's not who I am. I've learned a lot through it, And I love it.
Part of public speaking is just get out there and go, and just go. So I love that. But I was just curious because I could imagine, well, I'm not a singer, so I would never want to hear me sing ever. Ever. As a matter of fact, my dogs howl when I sing. But I just can imagine getting out there in front of a bunch of people and singing. And so I know in my mind I would be saying some very bad things to myself while I'm out there. Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that?
Oh, I'd be like Jim Morrison. I would just not face the crowd. I just get out there and turn
Don't look at
around.
me.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I'll do what I can. But, it's funny that you've been able to get over those hurdles and stuff. But so do you have any hurdles that you're still trying to get over?
Yes. So, well, it's just like in the performance side, I've taken guitar lessons for 2 years, but I'm not consistent enough with my practice. So I need to be better. But actually signing up and going and doing open mic and actually going and being like, just committing, because procrastination is a beautiful thing because it forces you to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I don't practice unless I give myself, that like event I sign up for. I'm like, oh, I guess I have to do it. And then it forces you.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it. And, I started taking lessons right around the time I started at Chamber 2, which is a lot of work. So my time is split up a lot.
When you have a full plate, and sometimes it's hard like when you unwind, like when do you usually get done at the end of the day? Like you're really busy.
The work day is like 8 to 5, but it varies.
Yeah.
And like sometimes if we have special events or I stay longer at work, like they don't micromanage me as long as I'm doing my job, hitting my goals.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll sit in bed at night when my husband's asleep and just catch up on data entry stuff. And like my boss is like, I trust that you're doing your work. Like if you need to come in late or leave early or whatever, as long as it's not messing with things.
I'm so glad that you came on the show and you
Thank
said
you for
yes.
having me.
So Mike actually first said, well, we got to get Jackie on. And then I ran into you at Michelle Ashley's, was that a Greeters? Uh-huh. And so then I put you on my list. And then when I had a cancellation, I was like, I'm moving her up because I want you in sooner. So.
No, I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
No, that's great. So.
I feel like we could have talked to you for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we just barely scratched the surface of who Jackie is and what you bring to the community in Salem. And we're blessed to have you in the Salem community.
We could have Jackie 2.0.
Yeah.
We'll go to the other side of the equation, yeah.
Oh man, so there's a reason I don't drink anymore, because I can be a little wild without alcohol and then throw alcohol on me. Whew. So many of my friends, as they're aging, they're like, I get a headache from one glass. Yep. And I'm like, then just don't do it. It's just...
It's funny how that's such a connector, though, in so many
Right?
ways. It's I know that
Brings the
back in
barriers
my
down.
day, I never smoked anything, and all my friends did, and it was weird when you go into like a something like that, and they go, here you go. No, it's not for me. People are like, wow, but that's how you kind of grow up with all that stuff. And so it's weird now as you get older, you just kind of break away from certain things like that. But to still be able to be connected with people that do that kind of stuff is not as easy, you wouldn't think, but it's such a connector. It's just such an easy in.
Yeah, when we stopped drinking, it was like, I'm not hanging out with those people anymore. It was odd, and then you realize how much alcohol is everywhere and everything centered around it. And I love non-alcoholic beer. Like I love beer. And
Have you ever had non-alcoholic beer?
Oh, it's good. You should carry some at your store. Maybe I'll order more often.
It's just like
I don't have to go anywhere to get it. I just order it.
Yeah, and pizza.
I always tell restaurant owners, I silently judge based on your non-alcoholic selection.
That's funny.
And actually, Marco Polo, they have new ownership. He's like,
Okay.
Jackie, I ordered stuff. I'm stocked for you. I'm like,
I'll ask you this then: which one would be good? Like, which is the best then?
the best non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, which is the one you were like, oh, you know what? Actually,
anything-
that's the
any
good.
IPAs. I really like Best Day Brewing because the way they brew it is using alcohol and then they extract the alcohol out of it. Versus others start and only are non-alcoholic the whole time, and so to me it's more of an authentic flavor. But honestly, any IPA. And then there's a chocolate coconut stout. That's really good.
Gosh, that's like my favorite. Maui Brewing Company makes chocolate so good. Oh my god.
I don't know
it's
what
so
brand
good.
it is. I have to find it. But some restaurant carried it. I'm like, this is non-alcohol.
Do you like mocktails too?
I do.
Yeah, I stopped drinking a long time ago, and then and Crystal, she goes on these year things, and then she doesn't drink a lot. Neither one of us drink a lot, and so but we always try the mocktails everywhere we go, and it's just like I love the flavor of tequila, but tequila doesn't agree with me. So if you find a good one that has a tequila flavor to it, it's really good.
Okay, so I'll close out with one last tip. If you are not a drinker, make sure when you order a mocktail that they actually understand what a mocktail is.
Oh,
We went to an event and we said, can you make us a mocktail? Not picky, just choose whatever you would like. And he goes, yeah, sure. And he goes, how about a Starburst? And he pulls out 3 Absolute vodkas. He's like, I used this one and then this one. And I was like, a mocktail. And he goes, what's that? I was like,
oh.
How long have you been a
No,
bartender?
that was his first day. And it was at a casino event. I was like,
Wow, that's crazy.
And then, of course, I have like these nightmare dreams about how like I got drunk because I found this tequila and I thought it was non-alcoholic.
That's so fun.
It sent me down a spiral of like waking up feeling guilty because I drank in my
In
dream.
a dream.
It's like 2.5 years of sobriety and I'm very proud of it. And
Yeah.
It is different though. You know, I have to do that's a lifestyle change.
it is.
And it's funny because you see things in a different light too. You see when you go and do things and you're sober doing it, you see it completely different than when you saw it or you remember it.
And I wish I could drink. The kind of alcoholism I have is I have zero control. Like zero self-control. It touches my lips and I just drink until I pass out. And I don't have moderation. For 20 years, people are like, oh, just figure out what your tolerance is. I don't have one. So it's either like all or nothing for me. So this is why it's...
My stepdaughter's that.
Yeah. And I wish I could. I like the flavor, which is why I will drink non-alcoholic beer and mocktails and whatever. Like, yeah. But I don't see alcohol as evil. I think there can be abuse of it. But whatever, you have a glass of wine, as long as you don't get a headache.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
This is fun. We'll have to book her again.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll go deeper.
Round 2.
Yeah.